This is a classic problem to solve, and certainly it is asked by a lot of tech companies. What they generally do is they will try to play around with the words a lot, try to make a whole story behind it, but the underlying concept remains the same. One such perfect example is fruit into baskets on LeetCode. So let's see what we can do about it. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. First, I will explain you the problem statement and we'll look at some sample test cases. I will also summarize the problem for you such that it becomes a one-liner. Going forward, we will start off with a brute force solution along with some diagrams. That makes it really easy to visualize. Going forward, we will find an efficient solution and then also do a dry run of the code so that you can understand and visualize how all of this is actually working in action. Without further ado, let's get started. First of all, let's try to make sure that we are understanding the problem statement correctly. This problem is written in a very verbose manner, so we will try to shorten it up. Basically, you are given an array where each element represents a type of fruit. For example, in the first test case, you have 3 elements, right? But only 2 different types, 1 and 2. Similarly, in your second test case, you have 4 elements, but only 3 different types, 0, 1 and 2. Now, you are given 2 baskets and you have to pick the maximum number of fruits possible, such that when you are picking, these fruits should be contiguous. So how does that work out? Let us look at the first test case and look at an example. I see my first fruit, that is 1. My basket is empty, so I add a fruit. I look at my second fruit, my second basket is empty, so I put it over here. I look at my third fruit, it is 1 again. So I can add it to my basket. Notice that in a basket, you cannot have 2 different type of fruits. So for the first test case, how many total fruits were you able to pick? You were able to pick a total of 3 fruits, correct? So for the first test case, 3 will be your answer. Let us look at the second test case now. In the second test case, I start with the first fruit, that is 0. My basket is empty, so I add it. My second fruit is 1. My second basket is empty, okay, so I can add it. My third fruit type is 2, right? Now I don't have any empty basket. The first basket has a fruit type of 0 and the second basket has a fruit type of 1. So I need to stop over here. How many fruits were you able to collect? You were able to collect a maximum of 2 fruits, correct? But this is not the answer. You need to determine what is the maximum amount of fruits that you can pick. So instead of starting from the first fruit, what you can do is you can start off with the second element, that is 1. My basket is empty, so I add a 1 over here. Move on to my next tree. My basket is empty, so I add a fruit over here. Move on to the third element, it is 2 again. I can add the same fruit to my basket, so I add a 2 over here. So once again, how many total fruits did I pick up? I picked up 3 different fruits, correct? So once again, for this test case, 3 will be your answer. Similarly, let us look at the third test case also. The first element is 1. What happens if I try to add it to my basket? Okay, well and good. The second element is 2. My second basket is empty, so I add it over here. Go ahead now. I get a third type of fruit. I don't have any space over here, right? My first basket has 1 type and second basket has 2 type. So I will need to stop over here. And how many fruits did I collect? I only collected 2 fruits. But this may not be the maximum. So what we will have to do is, we will have to try again. Okay, what do we do? This time, let us try to start from the second fruit. It is 2, so I add a 2 over here. Move on to the next element. This is 3, right? So I add a 3 to my next basket. Move ahead. I get a 2 again. I can add it to my basket. Move ahead once again. I get a 2. Once again, I can add it to my basket. So how many fruits did you collect? You collected a total of 4 fruits this time, right? So for the third test case, 4 will be your answer. So basically what we are doing over here, we are given an array and we have to find out the length of the longest contiguous subarray with at most 2 distinct integers. Just think about it. In the first test case, the length of the longest contiguous subarray, this is 3, right? With at most 2 distinct elements. In the second test case, this is the length of the contiguous subarray with 2 different elements. Similarly, for the third test case also, this is my contiguous subarray with at most 2 different elements, right? And you just have to return its length. So this entire huge problem, it can be simply summarized into this small problem itself. Think about it. It covers all of the facts. You only have 2 baskets, right? So you are picking 2 distinct integers. Then you can start from tree of any choice, right? That means this contiguous subarray can start from any position and you're only picking one fruit, right? That means in your array, you are including that integer itself. And the last condition, once you reach a tree where the fruit cannot fit, you must stop. It simply means that this array should be contiguous, right? Otherwise, you could stop and then pick from a later tree, right? So this entire problem, it can be summarized easily into just these two lines. So now, if you feel that you have understood the problem statement correctly, feel free to try this problem once again on your own. Otherwise, let us dive into the solution. To start thinking about a solution, let us try to take up a generic array. So this is a quite big array that I have taken and it will make things easier to understand. And to make it even more interesting, let us try to add some pictures to it. So you know that all of these numbers are type of fruits, right? So I'm just assigning all of these fruits over here. So type 1 is apple, type 2 is banana, type 3 are grapes, and type 4 is oranges. So basically, what does your array look like? Your array will look something like this, right? This will help you to understand things a lot better. Just trust me. Now, moving ahead, what do you have to do? You have a basket, right? And you can have two type of fruits. So a brute force approach will be that, okay, I start from the beginning, right? I have an apple over here. So what I do is I take this apple and I put it in my basket, correct? Now move ahead. I have a banana. Once again, I take this banana and I add it to my basket, right? Now my basket is full. I can only have two different type of fruits, right? Or you can say two baskets, correct? Move ahead now. Once again, you get an apple. I can add an apple to my basket, right? Because I already have a basket that has apples. Move ahead now. I see one more apple. Great. Just take this apple and you can add it to your basket. Move ahead now. You see a grape, right? So you know that as soon as you encounter a fruit that is not available in your basket, you just have to stop over there. So how many fruits were you able to collect? You were able to collect a total of 4 fruits, right? So this is one scenario. If you think about it, we have not traversed the entire array yet, correct? So there can be more such combinations. So with one combination, you got a possibility that, hey, maybe I can collect 4 fruits, but you need to explore more. So what do you do now? This time, instead of starting from the first position, you will start from the second position. What is the fruit that you have? You have a banana. So simply take your banana and add it to your first basket. What is the next fruit? You have an apple. Simply take an apple and add it to your basket. The next fruit is apple again. So take an apple and add it to your basket. The next fruit is a grape. So you need to stop. This time, how many fruits did you collect? You collected a total of 3 fruits, right? This is less than the previous number. So what you can do is you can simply discard it. Up till now, 4 is your maximum number of fruits, right? Similarly, you can keep moving ahead. You had started from the second position, right? So this time, start from the third position. What are you getting? You are getting apples. So add the apple. For the next location, once again add an apple. For the third location, this time you get a grape. Just take this grape and add it to your basket. Move ahead now. You get an orange. Once again, if you look at your basket, you do not have oranges, so you have to stop over here. How many fruits did you collect? You collected a total of 3 fruits. So 3 is also less than 4. So this is not relevant for us, right? Once again, you empty your basket and you will start with the fourth element. Now just try to think. If you start from an apple, okay, you found a second fruit that is grape. You found an orange again. So what is the maximum contiguous subarray? That is only the length 2, right? Once again, 2 is less than 4, so this will not be a condition. Start from the next location. You found a grape, then you found an orange, and then you found a third type, banana. Once again, you stop over here. So the maximum length you could find was 2. 2 is once again less than 4, so you need to stop. Start with the orange now. And this is where things get interesting. You take up the orange and add it to your basket. The next fruit is banana. Take this banana and add it to your basket. The next fruit is again banana. Add it to your basket. The next 2 fruits are also bananas. I added them to my basket and the next fruit is orange. I add this orange to my basket. Now, how many fruits do I have? I have a total of 6 fruits, correct? 6 is greater than 4, right? So now I have completed every combination and I can determine that, hey, this is my answer and this is the maximum amount of fruits that I can pick with all of these given conditions, right? Now, this was a brute force approach where you are considering every possible condition, right? You start from the first element, second, third, fourth, and then you are going all the way. This complexity will be order of n squared. So certainly we need a better approach. What can you do about it? Let us look at the problem once again. Once again, I have the sample array with me, right? And there are 4 different type of fruits. And these are our 2 baskets, correct? What we will do is, we basically have 2 pointers. This is my first pointer and this is the second pointer. What we will do is, we will try to add fruits. First of all, let us look at the first pointer. The first pointer is pointing at apple, right? What I simply do is, I try to take an apple and see, can I add it? I can add it to my basket. Cool. Move the first pointer ahead. What do you see? You see a banana. Can you add this banana? Yes, I have some space. So I take this banana and I add it to my basket. Now what do? Move your pointer one step ahead. You have an apple. Can you add an apple? Yes, because your basket already has apples. Move one step ahead. You see an apple again. Can you add an apple? Yes. So right now you have a total of 4 fruits in your basket, correct? Move one step ahead now. You see that, okay, you have landed at grapes. And you cannot add grapes because you already have 2 different type of fruits, correct? So what can you do now? What the second pointer will do is, they will try to remove the fruits in the order they were received, until and unless I have some space in my basket. Think about it. Currently, this pointer is pointing at an apple. So what I do is, I simply remove one apple. And then I move my pointer one step ahead. I still cannot put in the grapes, right? What do I have over here? I have a banana over here. So what I will do is, I will try to remove the banana. I remove the banana, correct? And now what happens? You suddenly have space for grapes, correct? So what you do is, you simply add grapes to your basket. And at every instance, you just try to determine what was the maximum number of fruits that you can keep. Up till now, you had a total of 4 fruits, right? With this combination, you have 3 fruits, correct? But 3 is less than 4. So you do not need to update this value, right? Now move ahead. The next fruit is orange. Do you have space for oranges over here? No, right? So that means I need to start removing fruits. Which one do I remove? I remove an apple. I take this apple and I remove it. I still don't have space. So I move my pointer one step ahead. Once again, I see an apple. So I will remove this apple. Now I have some space, right? So what I will do is, I will take an orange and I will add it to my basket. Now you have 2 different type of fruits. 2 is still less than 4, right? So we don't need to update any value. Take the first pointer and move it one step ahead. Do you have space for banana? No, right? That means once again, you have to remove some of the fruits. You move your previous pointer one step ahead and you see grapes. So what I will do is, I will remove grapes from my basket. Now I have a space. So what I will do is, I will take a banana and I will add it to my basket. Notice that I am removing elements from the previous direction, right? Because you need your array to be contiguous. You cannot pick any random elements to remove. So that is why you will have to remove fruits in the order in which you had already added them. Based upon this idea, now just keep moving ahead. You move ahead and you see, hey, do you have space for banana? Yes, you can add a banana. So just take this banana and add it. Move ahead, you see a banana again. Take this banana and you add it. Move ahead now. You see a banana again. Take this banana and add it. Move ahead now. You see an orange. Can you add an orange? Yes. So take an orange and you add it. You have now reached the end. And check out. How many fruits do you have in the basket? You have a total of 6 fruits, correct? That means you need to update this value. Since you have reached the end, you know that this is your answer. And this is the maximum number of fruits that you can have in your basket. You see that we only did one iteration of the entire array. Let us quickly do a dry run of the code now and see how it works in action. Before moving ahead, I would just like to say that if you do like my content, consider joining my channel and becoming a member. It really supports me to keep on bringing all of this quality content to you. Let's get back to it. On the left side of your screen, you have the actual code to implement this solution. And on the right, once again, I have a sample array that is passed in as an input parameter to the function total fruit. The first thing that we do is we create our basket. And this basket will be type of a hash map. So basically, it will tell me that, hey, this is the fruit type and this is the count of the fruits. We just need to make sure that we only have two different type of fruits in our basket, right? Because that is the problem limitation. Moving ahead, we initialize some pointers. Left is 0, right is 0, and max fruits is also 0. So left is the starting pointer, and then right is the other pointer. You also have a variable max fruits that is initialized to 0 right now, correct? You start with a for loop. This for loop starts from 0. That means you are going to move this pointer all the way to the end, right? Up till fruits.length. And then what do? You try to add this current fruit to the basket. So you take up this fruit 1, try to get its count. If it's not available in the basket, just add it. Otherwise, increment its counter. So right now, you don't have this fruit, right? So 1 gets added to this and its count is also 1, right? Check your basket size now. Your basket only has one type of fruit. So right now, you do not need to look at this while condition. And then you try to find out, hey, what are the max fruits that I have? Max fruit is simply a sum of all these count variables. So right now I did add one fruit. So the value of max fruit is now 1. This pointer moves ahead and now I'm pointing at 2. Does 2 exist here? No. So I add the fruit type of 2 and its count is also 1. My basket size is still not greater than 2. So this will not execute and I will update my max fruit. How many type of fruit do I have now? I have a total of 2 fruits, right? Just count these. Move ahead now. Now I'm pointing at 1 again. Do I have this fruit in my basket? Yes. What is its count? 1. So what I will do is, I will just update its count. My basket size is still not greater than 2, so this will not execute. And I will update my max value. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. Move to the next value now, that is 1 again. What is its count? Its count is 2. So you update it, and this changes to 3 now. I still have only 2 type of fruits, so this will not execute, and max fruits will update. Now advance one more pointer. This is where things get interesting. The fruit type is 3. I do not have it in my basket. So what do? I will add this fruit to my basket and its count is just 1 right now, correct? Now look at this code. My basket has more than 2 type of fruits. So what do I need to do? I need to start removing fruits from the beginning until my basket size is less than 2. So I look at the fruit count at this particular pointer. I check my fruit. What is its count? Its count is 3. So I do a -1 and then I will add it to my map. I increment the counter. So my pointer moves one step ahead. I still have more than 2 type of fruits. So this loop will run again. And this time I am going to remove the fruit type 2. This value is 1. If I decrement its counter, it will become 0. And if it becomes 0, I can remove it totally from my basket. So what do you have now? Once again, you just have 2 type of fruits. So you will exit out of this loop. Try to update the max fruits. They are 3 now, but 3 is less than 4. So this will remain constant. The above for loop will now run once again. And this time you will point at the next fruit, that is 4. So now you see how this loop will go on. And ultimately, you will traverse all the way to the very end. And this concept will be exactly similar what we did just a while ago. At the very end, you return max fruit and this will be your answer. Just try to go through the code once again and see how this hash map will keep on updating. That will give you a very good idea. The time complexity of this solution will be order of n because we iterate through the array only once. And the space complexity of this solution will also be order of n because we use a hash map to store the type of fruits that we have. I hope I was able to simplify the problem and its solution for you. As per my final thoughts, I just want to say that what makes this problem so special is that instead of an array, this problem can be converted into a string as well. Try to think about it. You can be asked to give me a substring that has contiguous characters with only 2 distinct characters, right? The entire problem is same. You just have to replace the array with the string. And similarly, instead of 2 distinct fruits, you could be given an input value k. So the problem changes to find a contiguous subarray with at most k distinct characters, right? So just by some twist of words, you can form all such different combinations of the same problem, right? So that is why I always emphasize upon, okay, just understand the concept, how we are approaching the problem. Then writing the code is very, very easy, right? You know how to deal with 2 different fruits and similarly you can deal with k different fruits. So while going through this video, did you face any problems? Or have you seen any other such problems which work on the same concept? Just tell me everything in the comment section below And it would be helpful for anyone else also who is watching this video. You will get a compiled list of all the same kind of questions. That will be really helpful. And I can clarify all of the doubts also that you have. As a reminder, if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This motivates me to make more and more such videos where I can simplify programming for you. Also, a huge shout out to all the members who support my channel. Do let me know what other problems do you want me to solve next. Until then, see ya.